Alright, I already gave you my top 10 favorite movies of the year. Now let's get to the worst pieces of shit of 2017. And again, a couple disclaimers first. I didn't get to see every single horrible movie, but I do not want to apologize for that. For example, I heard Chips is abysmal. Didn't care to see it, and why would I? I have better things to do. So yeah, these are just the movies that I couldn't stand. And again, if you liked some of these movies, that's absolutely okay. I just couldn't find any enjoyment in them. Disclaimers have been disclaimed. Here we go.
That is one big pile of shit.
You know me, I love space operas and great visual effects, but how about a space opera that looks great but everything else about it sucks completely? You got Valerian and the City of a Thousand Worlds. Oh my god, what a snooze fest. The first 15 minutes I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna like that. No, I really didn't. The plot got more convoluted. It was cluttered with side quests that were uninteresting. The chemistry between the characters started to get worse and worse and worse. And by the end, I'm telling you, I fell asleep. That's never a good sign.
That is one big pile of shit.
I already gushed about Stephen King's It, but there was one Stephen King adaptation that I absolutely hated. The Dark Tower. How did they make that suck? Idris Elba versus Matthew McConaughey in a fantasy epic. It was about as interesting as a bag filled with potato chips. I'm telling you, nothing about this movie worked. It dragged on, the characters were uninteresting, and this movie focused on a boy that no one gave a shit about. Granted, there was one cool action sequence about it. Other than that, yeah, I fell asleep big time.
That is one big pile of shit.
And I really hate to put this one on my list because I've been a fan of that franchise, but Chapter 8 was extremely disappointing. The Fate of the Furious. You think I was gonna say Star Wars? Nothing about this movie worked. And I know this franchise is supposed to be over the top, but The Rock being able to punch a dent into a metal door is insane. And also, this movie didn't really know what it was supposed to be. Every time it cut back to the main crew, it was an absurd orgy of nonsense and slapstick comedy. But when it cut back to Vin Diesel, it tried to be a serious drama. None of it worked. It was absurd. What started as a fun street race franchise now turned into a let's prevent World War III from happening. No, I'm not buying it. And it wouldn't even surprise me if these guys go up against the Avengers in the next one. No, thank you.
That is one big pile of shit.
Okay, this is a franchise that I've always hated, but every single time I go in with an open mind because I have fond memories of the cartoons. Transformers: The Last Knight. This movie was a nuisance. It was everything we hate about Michael Bay. Shitty humor, way too long, horrible characters, shaky cam, and boom, 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 boom. When a movie is able to bore you with explosions and action sequences, that is never a good sign. Hated Transformers.
That is one big pile of shit.
Once again, I was looking forward to this one, Baywatch. Yeah, the trailer campaign actually made this movie look like 22 Jump Street. Well, it wasn't. It was horrible. None of the jokes landed. The Rock and Zac Efron had shitty chemistry. Yes, there was an extremely hot chick in the movie, but that doesn't make a movie good. No, it didn't work for me. It was the worst comedy I've seen all year. I didn't like it one bit.
That is one big pile of shit.
The disappointments keep on coming. I love Michael Fassbender, so when I saw the trailer to The Snowman, I thought, ooh, this could be the next Seven. It wasn't. It was a snooze fest. It was boring as hell. There were so many side quests, side stories, side campaigns that I didn't give a shit about. What is this all leading up to? It led to nothing.
That is one big pile of shit.
Yeah, apparently everything needs to be a cinematic universe. We have the gigantic monster cinematic universe with Godzilla and King Kong. We have Marvel, we have DC, and then Universal tried their shot at their dark universe with The Mummy. This movie was horrendous. Nothing about it worked. It felt like a cheap marketing campaign for an overall cinematic universe. It didn't even focus on The Mummy. The pacing was off, it was cluttered with shitty expositional dialogue, most of the acting sucked. Tom Cruise gave his best to save this movie, but even his charisma couldn't save this dumpster fire.
That is one big pile of shit.
You know me, I love me some animated feature film fun. The Emoji Movie, however, was horrible. It tried to be as clever as Toy Story or Inside Out, but by the end of the day, it was filled with shitty toilet humor that really makes your kid dumber. Nothing about it worked. It felt like a cheap commercial. Nothing landed, the characters sucked, and to consider the fact that Patrick Stewart, who gave an amazing performance this year in Logan, was in this movie playing a turd, just breaks my heart. I'm telling you, the Emoji Movie, go fuck yourself.
That is one big pile of shit.
Coming in at number 2 is one of the first films I actually reviewed this year. Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. Please let it be the final chapter. This movie was horrible. Nothing about it worked. The action sequences, I saw potential there, but the editing was so over the place I couldn't even tell what was happening. A character died right in front of my eyes and I didn't know which one, because the shaky cam, the editing, I was like, oh, who died? Wait, can we just pause for a second so I can go through all the characters and realize who just kicked the bucket? The story didn't make sense at all. It felt like a stupid video game, even though it's based on great video games. It has nothing to do with the source material, and I'm glad it's finally over.
That is one big pile of shit.
And this is it, and yeah, you already guessed it. 50 Shades Darker. No other movie infuriated me as much as this piece of trash. I'm telling you, I hated the original, you know me. So I went into this one with an open mind. I was like, please let it at least be better than the last one and I'll be okay. It was even fucking worse. Because this movie didn't even have the kinky aspect, the kinky sex, no. It was about two people with no chemistry whatsoever trying to date. That was the entire film. Nothing else about this film mattered. They even tried so hard to put in a plane crash tragedy. And I was like, why is that even in the film? It was so bad that it's almost funny. But no, it doesn't get a pass. I hate this movie with a passion. And that sums up my top 10 worst films of 2017. Now, before you throw hate at me, just let me know about the movies that you hated the most in 2017. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then just subscribe.